different way to put, when we learn to bring our mind in the present moment. Karma Yoga is a technique by which, by not getting attached to the result, you are in the present. By not going into our past, we have come in the present. So living more and more in the present moment, our mind starts becoming more and more pure. And once it becomes pure, we develop the jnana to know ourselves. And once we know ourselves, we will become liberated. So that will happen in its proper stages. Last set of 4 questions. Dear Swamiji, yes. Fundamentally, we all are Satchidananda, Brahma Swarup. It is only our memory, intellect, mind that are stopping us from realizing our true blissful nature by falling prey to the worldly objects. Would you kindly explain what is the purpose of this creation of which we beings are the part when everything is mithya and truth is one and the same? Is it the drama which is being played? What is the purpose of this drama? If we take this as drama, there will be no motivation to excel in our respective fields of working. There will be not research and engineering to improve the living, as these are all directed towards physical possessions and comforts. Is it the best thing to only meditate in true sense and not strive to achieve the worldly things, or even make efforts to make life comfortable for the mankind, as he in any case take care of all of us? So he's asking the great purpose. Actually, the purpose of our existence is very difficult to put in simple words, but we can know the purpose from our own, by looking at our own mind. Our mind is constantly striving to fulfill the desires which arise in it. Though just objectively looking at our life, we feel that the purpose of life is to fulfill desires. Because that is what we are doing. Life is constant struggle to fulfill desires. We talk about it as desire from a human being standpoint, but even animals and all, constantly they are fulfilling their needs or their desires. And what is their desire? First desire is to maintain themselves, to secure. What in the scientific language we can say that the genes and the DNA and all wants to survive. They want to pass on that information to their young ones and die. Then they pass on to them and they die. They just want to survive. So survival is the first inborn instinct in all of us. Whether we are educated, uneducated, man, woman, whatever religion we may follow, survival instinct is there in all living beings. For lower beings who only think of survival, that becomes their purpose of life. If you ask an ant or a mosquito, and what is your purpose? They say, I want to just survive, But they cannot survive for long. So they, whatever they have, their essence, they give birth and they die. So they live through their children, their grandchildren and all. It continues. Same thing we have in our survival instinct. But another desire which we have is to seek pleasure. Why do we want to survive? So that I can be happy. I want to be happily surviving, not unhappily surviving. Why you want to live? I want to be happy. I want to gain pleasure. So pleasure, seeking pleasure is another thirst which we have. So these are the two main thirsts which we have: seeking security, survival, and seeking pleasure. As a human being, we have analyzed this very deeply. We have understood that all beings, they seek these two, survival and pleasure. So we as a human being, we have evolved to accommodate other beings also. When we start thinking about other persons or other beings' survival and pleasure, then we call it as being good, being dharmic. So, talking from the technical standpoint, the survival instinct is called artha purushartha, pleasure seeking is kama purushartha, and the thirst to be good is called dharma. We have, it is there in some measure, we can see it in other creatures also, but more in a human being, that we think about others also, their survival and their pleasure or their happiness. But there is another thirst which is there, which comes into rare few human being, and that is a thirst to know myself, a thirst to find out what is the essence of me. This is a strange thirst which is there. It's a thirst for self-discovery, which comes in the human. In the first stage of this thirst is to know what is the secret of this world, and that is how the science has progressed. Science is nothing but thirst to discover, thirst to explore the world, want to know what is beyond this galaxy, want to know what is happening in other planets. Nowadays they are discovering more and more planets similar to Earth outside. Maybe it will not be too long when they will discover that there are beings in other planets also. So it's a thirst to know what is this grand world in which we are living. But that thirst extends further in knowing what is the secret of me, who am I. And this seems to be the ultimate thirst, because our scriptures, they say that one who gets this thirst to know himself and comes to recognize himself, all his thirst and all his desires just disappear. In Gita Bhagavan, in the 6th chapter, he says that having gained this self, he doesn't desire anything else. Yam labdva na aparam labham manyante. He doesn't think there is greater gain than this. So this seems to be our purpose of our life, a thirst to know myself. All of us may be at different stages in our, some may be totally at a basic level, कि somehow I have to survive, get a good job, get nice money in the bank, and get all this big house and all this car and all those things, and I should somehow lead a very safe life and then have proper pleasure and all, first class flat screen TV and some other thing, music set and this and that, and बस हो गया तेरा, हाँ जीवन सफल हो गया, हाँ हो गया. But Padosi is complaining that you are playing loud music, who cares, Padosi and all. But when he starts caring for the Padosi, then he has evolved further to become a dharmic person, a good person. And further evolution after being dharmic is the thirst to know our own self. So dharma also comes at a lower level than this great thirst for realization, which very rare few people get it, and then they come to recognize. Gautam Buddha, great saint, our Pujya Gurudev, Bhagwan, Ramana Maharshi and all, they are rare few people who have walked this path and have recognized their own self. Till we reach that, we can keep becoming, evolving and being dharmic. So there is nothing wrong in following the path of doing some research in engineering and helping the world, improving the living condition of the world. It's part of life. One who is at this stage should continue with it. But one who, like you cannot engage more evolved on this path of spirituality in this particular activity, they will not be interested. But those who are interested, nothing wrong in it. One can live that type of life also. How to be away from worldly objects when we are dealing with them so closely? How to train ourselves? See, we don't have to run away from worldly objects. We should just not come under their sway. They should not hamper our journey. They should not create any problem, obstacle on our path of this spirituality. If they create problem, then there is... So one should not come under their sway. That's what in Gita, 3rd chapter, Bhagavan said, Tayorna vashamagachet, tau yasya paripanthi. No, you don't come under the sway of these objects. Use them, but don't remain alert, aware, see that they don't use you. Use television, but don't fall prey to television. Use whatever mobile, use whatever, but don't come under their sway. Remain independent all the time. For that, alertness, knowledge, discrimination is required. Regular satsang will also help. This is another set of 2 questions, but both the sets appear similar. This is asked by another person on the same paper. If attaining moksha was our ultimate goal, why test us, tease us with desires for worldly goods and people? Why did God create this Maya Jal? Whatever be the reason why God created. In fact, as I said, God is not different from us. Actually, the ultimate answer to this whole Maya Jal is that it is indescribable. It is anirvachaniya. The scriptures, they don't try to describe this, explain this world. The scriptures mainly focus on making us free from all this delusion and making us realize our own self. How we came into this delusion is a big theory only. Various theories are there, in which the term Maya and all we use, and one may get more confused. It's like a person is sick, let us say stomach ache, and the person suffering and goes to the doctor. And the doctor says, okay, let us analyze from where you got this. Where did you go and what did you eat, and let us go and inquire there. And okay, if it is required for the purpose of curing, then it is fine. But just for the sake of curiosity, then it's not good. You just take the medicine which is good and it will cure you. Similarly, the scripture says that you just take the medicine of doing your sadhana and come out of this Maya Jal. Who created? Why he created? Those questions cannot be answered. They are all theories, and theories have their own defects. If we say God created, then we will start fighting with God. If we say it has come from Maya, then we'll ask for what is this Maya and all. So it is inexplicable. Anirvachaniyam. Vedanta says it is anirvachaniyam, cannot be explained, but you can wake up from this dream. How this dream started, we can't explain it. But we have a technique of coming out of this dream. That Vedanta says we can teach you. But how it happened, we don't know. That is the ultimate answer like. How to train our mind, intellect to go away from being a slave of senses and ego. Same thing, we follow the path of Karma Yoga, you remain alert and awake all the time, and develop positive qualities, strengthen your strengths, strengthen the positive qualities, negativities will automatically fall down. If I want to conquer my anger, don't fight with your anger. Anger is very strong. Jealousies are strong. Pride is strong. They are all Rakshasas. Don't think you can frighten them. So what should we do? You take support of the Devatas, the good qualities. Strengthen them. Strengthen your love.